Hello YouTube, this is Marauders here. So this here is my Nintendo Labo Robot Kit. So it's an interesting toy, but the problem here is that, well, it's cardboard and there's a very major issue, which is that the part that you wear that touches your back, you know, after one time of wearing it, this whole back panel was like completely drenched in my sweat, and I was pretty sure that it wouldn't last more than once. If I try to put it on again without doing anything about it, it would be pretty serious. So what I did was I've taken some duct tape and I've layered it, like there are like 2 layers of duct tape over this thing. So hopefully that would be a pretty good water guard, but some of it is still not perfectly layered. So for the most part it's layered, but I'm still a bit wary about putting this on because the steam and the dampness from the sweat might still go through this duct tape layer, even though it's supposed to be waterproof. So what I did was I have this. So this is basically some sort of a insulator bag which you use to transport ice cream and stuff. Okay, so it's a heat bag like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount this bag around on the back of the backpack, and it will provide it's a bit cushiony, so it should provide some sort of it should be fully waterproof, since it's meant to hold cold items as well, so water shouldn't be able to escape to pass through this. And it's a bit soft also, so it's somewhat of a little padding. So let me get to work and see how I can put this at the back. Okay, so I did some slapdash. This is a slapdash hack job. This is like the first pass to see how well this works. So I've basically pushed it through the tab holes. I didn't want to disassemble it or anything, and yeah, okay, it's time to suit up and see how well it works. Okay, so after a quick session, about like 30 minutes I guess, yep, I'm sweating a lot, but this is working. This is definitely keeping the sweat from actually hitting the cardboard at the back. So I would say that's a successful modification, and considering how much pressure you exert on this, when you're wearing it, if you sweat enough, it's very likely that you will puncture it in 1 or 2 uses if you don't do anything about it. So yeah, you should do something about it. The other thing is, of course, for the headband, the parts that touch your forehead would most likely get a bit drenched, but I think it's generally should be okay, unless well, it's still, I guess, yeah, it could still be damaged, but I guess modifying this is pretty simple. Just change an entire elastic strap and somehow get something to be able to still flick the Joy-Con between vertical or horizontal positions. I guess I can think about it. Okay, so here are some hints in case you're trying to help you along to try and make a guard of your own. So I started out with a piece of material like this. Then, because for time reasons and because I'm just plain lazy, for these windows, instead of like cutting a hole into the material and basically re-pulling the strap out from the backpack, what I did was I cut a slit into a hole so that basically the material can just slide into the areas where the strap is. So the same thing was done for the lower areas. There's one slit followed by a window to allow the straps to come out. So that's basically just it. There are just like 4 windows around here, so this thing can be easily slotted in and out. And then of course, the optimistic side of me thought it would just be held in place by the holes of the strap, but because these things aren't fully like vertical, so they don't actually stop the material from sliding down, what I did was on the top I just have a roll of tape to tape down the material. And because I wanted to make it easier to remove, so basically I just used the very thin tape. This is like book repair tape, and to just pin it down I just used my good old duct tape. Okay, so I definitely can do a better job than this, but like my wife always tells me, yeah, sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I do things that are somewhat hard to look at. That's my sweat guard for the Nintendo Labo Robot Kit, and I guess the only thing left for me to do now is to come up with a robot kit design of my own so I can play versus mode. That'll be something.